Hello and welcome to episode 8 part 2. We're going to be reviewing anime episode 3, Roaring Muscles. This carries on from the last episode we did covering episodes 1 and 2 when there was no chapter. So whenever there's a chapter break, we're just going to continue going through the anime until we've done them all. This episode covers manga chapter 2. Once again, I'm Sophie.
And I'm Kendra.
So the episode starts with the narrator talking about All Might. We learn that his age and quirk are kept unknown to the public, and I wonder why he hides his age. Have we talked about this before?
Yeah. He's just like, it makes him sound like an eldritch abomination. He's just like, we don't know anything about it, which makes me think he might be in his 60s or something. Like, I think he's older than we think. And maybe his quirk makes him, like, say a bit younger or something. But then he would have aged more. But I don't know. I think he's older than we think he is.
Yeah, I wonder if he thinks that if people know his age, it'll be easier to connect him with Nana and then connect their quirks.
Yeah, because, like, and I know Deku was watching the first thing, like, his like, first appearance, and it was a very old video, so couldn't people, like, kind of figure it out from there as well? Yeah, I think he probably likes being a bit of a mystery, because, like, even his, like, name isn't super commonly known. Like, we don't know it in the anime for a while. Yeah,
that's true. And even the students, they don't use his actual name, whereas they know, like, Aizawa's name, but they don't know All Might's name.
He is All Might. Like, I think of it more as All Might, and I have to be like, wait, what's his real name again? But I don't know how spoilery we want to get in these, because I think you did say Nana, but...
Oh, yeah. His sensei.
Yes.
So after this, we see a chart showing crime reducing since his appearance. I mean, the numbers aren't shown, but I'd kind of like to, because, I don't know, I like to do the maths sometimes.
There's some graphs.
But he's a symbol of peace and a pillar to justice for the whole world, apparently, so not just Japan, the whole world. Izuku remembers All Might saying that he can be a hero, as we hear all the people that said to him that he couldn't be in the background. He remembers All Might saying that he can.
One little thing, is I love that there's an All Might statue. It's very cute.
Oh, it's very reminiscent of Superman, isn't it?
Yep.
Back in the street, All Might says that Izuku is worth inheriting his quirk, and then we cut straight to the opening. All Might says again that Izuku can inherit his quirk and laughs when Izuku is shocked, but I don't know why he laughs. Like, I would be shocked as well. But he says that it's Izuku's choice and All Might won't force it on him. He kind of asks at the same time what Izuku wants to do. What do you want?
And I love at one point he says the real show starts after this. It's kind of like the show really does start after he gets his quirk, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's true. But, like, don't shout at a crying boy.
Yeah, let him be happy. Like, I guess, like, All Might's very used to doing his, like, hero voice, where he's, like, his hero voice is kind of yelling all the time. A little.
Yeah.
So then he's like, oh, wait, like, are you okay with it? And it's like, but are you? It's like, oh, wait, I gotta say it in, like, the hero thing, because it's like...
But all that exertion is obviously too much for him, and he starts coughing up a load of blood.
Yeah.
Just chill out, All Might. Like, calm yourself down. You've only got, like, half a lung or something. All Might explains that he's always hidden his quirk because people need to believe that a symbol of peace is naturally born, and, like, naturally born like any other. He got the power from someone else handing it down to him. We see Izuku's first mumble storm as he struggles to understand the concept of passing on a quirk.
It is very funny because he's kind of thinking like that's never been documented before, and he's very like logical about it, but also just like mumbo jumbo. And what does All Might interrupt him with?
I don't know.
Nonsense. He says nonsense in English.
He says it in English.
Yeah, he says it in English.
Oh, see, I've been watching, because I hadn't watched the dub before. I've been watching all our anime recaps in the dubbed.
Ah, okay.
But that's interesting. So All Might then tells Izuku the name for One for All, and that the quirk grows stronger as it's passed on, which is really interesting. Like, how strong will it get when it's passed on to like 20 people or something?
Or like 100.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it would get too strong and needs to be stopped at one point if it's just too OP.
And All Might does say, I hide a lot of things, but I don't lie.
All Might explains to Izuku the choices that made him want to stop his search and pass on his quirk. And then he tells Izuku to stop crying, which is going to be a trend going forward. Will Izuku ever stop crying?
No.
Probably not. Izuku contemplates quickly and then he agrees that he'll take it. All Might says that he thought he would have no reluctance, though he's only known him for a short space of time. And I'm wondering if that's because All Might reacted in the same way and he sees himself in Izuku. 6 minutes in, we then get the episode title. We cut back to Dagobah Municipal Beach Park, and this is 2 days later. We see Izuku trying to pull along a large cabinet with All Might on top, and All Might asks why he can't do it, which is really harsh. Plus, he's got to be pretty heavy. Izuku defends himself and says it's All Might's weight, who replies that he's only 560 pounds now. Which that is also equivalent to 40 stone or 255 kilograms. I don't know why, but I calculated his BMI because I'm really cool. And his BMI is 52.6.
Is that good or bad?
That's super high. I mean, he's obviously not obese. Really muscular people always high on the BMI chart. But it's super high.
It was funny. The sub did... did the... Not pounds. What's the other one?
Stone?
No,
kilograms?
They did kilograms, so I was like, okay, I need to Google what that is in pounds. It is, 562 pounds is, really heavy. I know that's good, because he's all muscle, just, you forget, he's, really is, when he lands, and, if he hits you as, he's landing or something, that packs a punch, yay, All Might. I love All Might.
And he's tall as well, isn't he?
Yeah, 7 feet, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
I just love that he's walked onto a weighing scale in that form. And he's like, I think, did he say I lost weight? I think he's like, I lost weight. I'm this much in this amount now. So he goes, maybe there's I wonder if there are quirk doctors that you kind of have to report in what your progress is. And maybe he's like, oh, in this form now, I can do this, even though it's injured or something.
Maybe. But All Might then goes on and tells Izuku that he's not ready for his power. Izuku screams, freaking out, before he's corrected by All Might that it just means his body's too weak. Then he will get the quirk, but he just thought he would never get it. All Might explains that the quirk is so strong because of all the combined power of those who used it before. So if he has it, if Izuku takes it now, it will destroy his body. All Might explains that they're at the beach to train, but also to help the community, because before heroes had quirks, heroes used to just help the community in different ways that they can. So they're combining two things in one, which I think is lovely. He could have just gone to the gym. Do you know what I mean? But this is a really worthwhile way of doing it.
It's also funny. He says or not funny. He says the unprepared body will explode. I wonder if he's speaking from experience. Did someone who inherited One for All blow up, or is he just that's what his master told him, and the master knows it kind of by offhand knowledge. You can kind of just tell, or did it actually happen? I'm curious. I don't know. And it's kind of funny. He's restore the horizon for this section, and it's kind of annex the world.
All Might then flattens the cabinet with just the swiftest, easiest moves, and explains that cleaning the beach is just the first step. Here I noticed that Izuku is wearing an All Might shirt. He's such a fanboy. If you were going out with your idol, you would think you would try and wear a normal shirt, but I guess All Might already knows, but still.
All of his shirts are, all of his shirts are All Might shirts, probably.
We now learn that All Might actually went to UA as well, which I don't think we knew before.
I don't know.
He explains again that Izuku has 10 months to get strong enough to accept the quirk. He's written out a schedule. It starts at 4 a.m. and ends at 11 p.m. That's a lot. And teenagers do need extra sleep. That's not just something people use as an excuse.
So that might be a bit too much. I'd be no, let me go to bed earlier.
Oh, this would be way too much for me now.
I would just rebel. I'd be I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. unless there is, chocolate of some kind. Otherwise, good night.
He's created some set meals as well. And he's included weekends and weekdays so that there's not really any time off. It's a lot of hard work, but...
For working out your body, though, you do need to have, like, a day off. But I guess, like, if you rest that bit, you can, like, work out the other bit or something.
I think he has days off from physical activity, but he still has to keep to the diet schedule. We get a short beach montage. Izuku has a mumble storm in class before being reprimanded, and we see a solemn-looking Bakugo. And, like, I wonder if he's still feeling bad about the villain attack. I mean, probably. It's a pretty traumatic thing. You're not going to get over that quickly.
And we see a kid with, like, he has, like, rock hair, which is kind of funny. There's a girl with, like, awesome big white hair. And the teacher is a different teacher than last time, I think. And they have, like, extendo tendons or something.
Extendo tendons?
Yeah, because it's, like, his hand goes out, but his hand goes out with, like, not the rest of the arm attached, but, like, these, like, two white things. And it makes me think maybe it's his tendons or something. I don't know. Or bones? Extendo bones.
Ooh. In this montage, we see him at the beach, we see him eating, see him researching. Inko, his mum, she's keeping up with the food menu, which is so lovely to do. Like, he must have just given her this set menu and been like, Mum, I need to eat this. And she's like, yeah, sure. Like, she's a single mum. She hasn't got time to, like, muddle around with all of his wishes, but she does it because she's lovely.
And it's probably expensive, too, because, like, meat's kind of expensive in Japan. So he needs, like, a lot of carbs and maybe a lot of meat, too. I don't know.
Yeah, no, meat is expensive. In the beach montage, All Might is wearing, like, a weird bathing suit thing, and we see a scene where he's posing with some ladies.
Oh, and I think, like, the swimsuit, it covers up his stomach, I guess, so that way no one sees his scar. And maybe it's kind of showing his age, too, that he thinks that's normal, or he just, like... He just likes to dress up like that. It is a very cute outfit. And we do get a bit of focus on the red shoes again. And I really do think his red shoes are kind of a way of just reminding us that, like, he is quirkless and, like, he doesn't have that pinky toe thing. It's just kind of like... It's also kind of just, like, a symbol for Deku, but it's kind of... I'm keeping my eye out for the close-ups of his red shoes.
Izuku is running carrying a drawer with like, skeletal All Might next to him on a Segway.
I love the segue.
He asks if Izuku is going to take it easy when there's 3 months left. He then realises that Izuku isn't taking it easy. He's just overworked and he needs to slow down and follow the plan more. So we learn that Izuku hasn't just been doing the plan, he's been doing extra stuff as well.
Yeah, he's an overachiever because I guess he's like, I need to work harder than everyone else or I won't be able to catch up. I want to be like you. And like Deku just full on like collapsed while carrying All Might.
Yeah, he needs to give his muscles time to regrow. Otherwise, there's no point working out if you don't give yourself time to heal. Like, you don't just grow muscles. Your muscles break and then they grow larger from that. Yeah. So if he's not giving me time to regrow, he's just silly, ambitious boy.
Yeah, he wants to be the greatest hero.
Yeah.
But he needs to be alive for that or be able to move.
As you said, he's worried that he's too far behind. He cries and claws at the ground, saying that he wants to be like All Might. Muscular All Might then turns up and says, "This old man will adjust the plan." So he admits that he's old. I'm glad that Horikoshi included this bit where Izuku's pushing himself too far. Like, it would have been really easy for him to just do the training montage, but I like that he showed Izuku overworking. Like, it just adds to his character.
No, it's like, don't do this.
Yeah, and it's like, training montages aren't the most exciting thing, so it's nice that it's added in. We go back to the beach, and we find out that it's entrance exam day, and it's 6 a.m. Izuku is standing atop a pile of rubbish, screaming, just screaming. Just chill out, lad.
He's roaring! Roar!
Yeah. The beach is all clear. Izuku did more than he was told, and he just cleaned up the whole thing. Skeletal All Might is impressed. Izuku falls, and then muscular All Might catches him like a damsel. Izuku cries again about being so lucky before All Might tells him to stop crying again for the second time in the episode.
And I just love, like, when he's roaring, his, like, nose is also running. And we missed out when he reacts to what Deku did, he's like, "Oh my goodness!" Like, and he transforms into his buff form.
His transformation is so quick. All Might has a speech about being lucky versus being deserving, which is, I'm guessing maybe that's what his master told him as well. And there's some inspirational music in the background. We get the sunset back, but then All Might tells him to stop and eat his hair, and all the music stops, the beautiful background stops, and it's a really funny moment. Just like the last thing you would expect him to say. And we find out that he's not a massive weirdo. To get All Might's quirk one for all, you need to ingest some of the DNA. We cut to a long shot of Izuku's red shoes. There's no shoe shot in the manga, it's added into the anime. I quite like them.
It's kind of like his red shoes are like left behind. So now it's like, now he doesn't need those because he like has a quirk, even though he does like keep them afterwards. It's kind of like,
yeah,
the shoes have changed. The meaning, I don't know. So when he eats the hair, does he gain he loses a digit in his pinky toe or gains? Because I wonder if people could like look and be like, wait a second, why do you have a quirk when you have this pinky toe thing? So like, I wonder if he'll get
I mean, he's got the pinky toe. It's just if there's not the joint in it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The joint in the pinky toe is redundant, but I don't think many people are going to be x-raying his feet. But also, the doctor said that it was just a theory, didn't he, I think?
Ah, okay.
But anyway, that is the end of chapter... Oh, that's the end of chapter 2. And we get Izuku's information after this. And at the end, after 16 minutes in, chapter 3 will begin.
Yay. And he's at the exam building. He didn't even have a chance to really test his ability. And Bakugo just says, like, get out of the way. Don't stand in front of me or I'll kill you. So that's the 4th one in the murder jar. It's kind of funny that we're kind of, like, going backwards through. So I think we're going to slowly get a lot more in the murder jar just at the beginning.
When you first saw the UA building, what did you think of it?
It's cool.
Because it's massive, isn't it? It's got those 3 doors, like one for each year.
Yeah, it's gigantic. It's just like an H. And okay, do you know why UA is called UA?
I don't think we found out yet.
No, I know why. UA...
I think it's going to be Ultra Academy.
No, it's called UA because UA sounds like the Japanese word for hero.
Oh, great insight. I didn't realise that.
I'm going to double check that. Or no, I lie. It's Japanese word for hero is like Hiro. So, okay.
I don't know because I saw someone put a post on Twitter saying that they think UA stands for... I can't remember what it is, and I know that I saw Caleb, the translator, like that post. I think he's really involved with fans of things, so if that was incorrect, I think he would have commented and be like, excuse me, but the official thing is blah, 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 blah.
Oh, UA is a simple pronunciation of UA, and as you can see, when they write the school in kanji, it looks like UA. So hero apparently is E-I-U-U, E-U. So the 2 kanji are flipped to make the original school name, so it's A-U is UA, so like hero... It basically kind of supposed to sound like hero, but then there probably will be a reveal that it's like, oh, it's something. It'd be funny if it was like something sinister about My Hero, about the school. I seriously doubt it. And because they really like building, the buildings are in shapes of H's, right? Or U's.
I believe it's U's, isn't it?
I always thought it was...
I don't know. They're in the shape of a letter.
Something, yeah. And Deku is like very nervous. He's like, good luck, let's do our best. He's clearly still afraid of him. But Bakugo doesn't do anything. He kind of like recognizes him.
No, but the recognised bit might be the strangers behind him recognise him from the slime incident, don't they? They're like, oh, it's that slime victim guy. Oh, he's so great. Of course he wants to go here.
Yeah. And Deku thinks back, like, oh, ever since that day, Bakugo hasn't done anything to me. But there's like, he has before. It's kind of like, early Bakugo really pisses me off. And Deku realizes he was just scared of him out of habit. And like, Deku's like still kind of shaking, but it's like, it's different from before. Like, now he's buff. And it's the first step to being a hero. And there's really weird statues in the background. I think they're former heroes, like, or a Lemon-Eye or something. Unless it's, I know... In Haikyuu, there's this weird, like, sun statue at, like, the gym. And that's, like, that's, like, a real thing at the gym. But I don't know I think these are just former heroes or something.
Yeah, it could be. Or could they be something religious, like shrines?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
And in his first step to being a hero, he starts to fall, and he looks very intent as he falls. He's like, "Ugh." And he gets floated by a girl who's like wondering, "Are you okay?" Or like she's kind of levitating him, and she puts him back up, and then she just like cutely puts her hands together. And it's like, "Sorry for using my quirk without asking. It would be bad luck if you fell, right? Like, are you nervous? Let's do our best." And then she runs off, and Deku just doesn't say anything. But I talked to a girl. It's like, sure you did, Deku. Sure you did.
Did you say about when he was like, did they not say in the subtitled one, but in the dubbed, like, as he's falling forward, he thinks to himself, "Oh, I'm going to die now before I can do it." Like, he thinks that before he's going to become a hero, he's going to die. And it's like, you're not going to die from tripping, you dramatic.
I always did the sub, but I like that. I need to watch the dub because I've watched like a bit of the dub, and then I've watched like the ending of the first season dubbed because I wanted to see like some of the dramatic stuff. But I need to check it out. Maybe the next one I'll do that.
Yeah, I've never watched it before, but for these recaps, I think I'm going to watch them all in the dub because I don't usually like dubbed voice acting, but I feel like for Hero Academia, it's actually really good.
They're all really good. President Mike is the hot. I don't know. I think I meant to write he's the host, but I just wrote President Mike is the hot. And he calls them his examinee listeners. He's very dramatic. He's like, "Hey," and nobody hey's back. If I was there, I would just be like standing up, like screaming, "Hey." Like, I would be his biggest fan.
Oh, I would not. I wouldn't want to stick out. I'd be sitting there quietly like everyone else. And also, I'm British. We don't really scream or shout for anything.
Yeah, unless it's football.
No, we just will applaud silently, and that's like, yeah!
Nice. And Deku's kind of in awe. He's like, "Oh, I listen to him every week on the radio." And Deku and Midoriya are side by side. I was like, "Oh, they're sitting beside each other," but it's because their numbers are beside each other. And we learned that all the teachers at UA are pro heroes, and Bakugo just says like, "Shut up." Because if he started yelling, "I'll kill you" here, he probably would get in trouble. And we learned that that it was advertised the exam was going to be mock urban battles lasting 10 minutes. I didn't realize there were a time limit. And you can bring whatever you want, which is kind of important because like some people we'll meet later do need to bring things. And Bakugo kind of sneaks to look at Deku's papers and he's like, "Oh, they won't let you work with your friends, huh?" Or it's like, "Oh, that just means they won't let you work with your friends." And it's like, "You're not friends." And the numbers we learned they're assigned, and they have different battle centers, which I forgot. And then Deku tries to look at his, and he's like, "Don't look, I'll kill you." So that's 5 in the kill jar. I don't know if it's like a verbal tick, or like, he's just kind of like, it's a very childish insult too, that he kind of like doesn't mean it that way. It's more just like, that's how he knows to like scare people, and he hasn't learned to do anything else. But it's not, it's just, don't threaten to kill people. It's actually really easy not to.
Oh, he's just an arse. Let's not make any excuses
He's
for him
just
like
an
it's a tick, which is like a genuine thing. He's just an arse.
And he says, "Damn, now I can't crush you." And there are three villains with different difficulties, and we get a very like 8-bit like video game demo. And all you have to do is immobilize these faux villains. Attacking other examinees and unheroic actions are prohibited. And I wonder, like, if you went around and just got all the robots out, would that be unheroic? So, like, no one else could get points? Like, what does that mean? What's unheroic actions?
In the subtitled ones, because I can't remember, what does he say about destroying the robots? Because in the dubbed, he says that the students have to shred the villains like a guitar solo.
No, he just says immobilize. But I think I like that better, because I think it's more like giving it more of, like, a flair to it. Like, I think President Mike is very much like he would say that. So I think that's a really good translation to kind of give it a bit of color.
Yeah.
And a person with glasses has a question, and he holds out a printout saying there's supposed to be 4 villains. If this is a misprint, UA should be ashamed. And then he also calls out Deku for murmuring all the time. It's distracting. If it's a pleasure trip, please go home. And everyone like kind of laughs at them, and Deku apologizes, covering his mouth. And it's not a very good introduction for Glasses Man, who I also love.
Oh, I loved this introduction. It tells you everything you need to know about him.
That he's an angry nerd and he's a stickler.
Oh, so much drama. Like, you should be ashamed for a spelling mistake.
Yeah.
What if they're dyslexic?
Yeah, like, and I love that President Mike knows his examinee number, but I guess he can probably, like, count it out or something. He's like, examinee 7111, thanks for the great message. The fourth villain is worth 0 points. An obstacle, there's one in every battle arena. It'll go, like, ballistic in tight spaces. And it's not impossible to defeat, but there's no reason to defeat it. I recommend to avoid it. I think in the manga, it actually references like a specific video game, but they can't do that in the anime.
I didn't pick up on any specific game.
Mm-hmm. And Glasses sits down, he apologizes for interrupting, and it's like, I think one of them says like, oh, it is like a video game. And then he says, the hero Napoleon Bonaparte once said, a true hero is someone who overcomes life misfortunes. Go beyond plus ultra. And I think so, like, I don't think Napoleon is a hero.
He got exiled.
Yeah, several times.
Being a criminal.
And plus ultra, in case you didn't know, is Latin. It's the national motto of Spain. It means further beyond. I never knew it was Latin. I just thought it was like a hype thing to hype you up.
Yeah.
Or so it's a kind of go beyond, further beyond. That's kind of cool.
I have another question about the difference between the dubbed and the subtitled.
Mm-hmm.
When Glasses Man is calling out Izuku, does he mention his unkept hair?
Yes, I think he mentions the green hair, I think.
Oh, okay, because in the...
And I think he might call it wavy or something.
Yeah, in the dubbed he says, you with the unkept hair.
Aw. Poor Dick. Draco's trying his best. I didn't realize his hair was green, like, reading the manga for, like, ever. Even with, like, seeing some of the color pages, I, like, didn't realize it was green for a while. But it's, like, it's subtly green.
And I like that at the end we see him at the battle centre, which is massive, and he's just shaking because he's so nervous.
And Deku is enthused, and then President Mike says, good luck suffering. And we learn he is at Battle Center B. He's in the same battle center as Glasses and the girl he talked to earlier. He's shivering, and he will become a hero he's always dreamed of, and he slaps his cheeks, and then we go to the credits. So he's off to the start of his hero journey, and he's met a few people, but will they be friends, or foes, or rivals, or who knows?
I'm really looking forward to when we do our recap of episode 4 and the introduction of my favourite character.
Oh yeah! Oh, he's in that episode!
Yeah, because he gets introduced so early on in the story. And even in the manga volumes, I think, you know, there are the character faces on the side of the volumes.
Mm-hmm.
That he's on the side one for, I think it's volume 5, so early on. So even though we don't see him that much,
wow.
I think Horikoshi was trying to create him as a main character, because he turns up early in like episode 4.
Do we want to do a little bit of talking about, do you have anything to say about like spoilery stuff that you kind of realized rewatching the episode?
I don't think so. If you go first, maybe that will spark some ideas.
Oh, sure. So we see that he mentions being he has to be a natural born hero, which kind of tells us that he used to be quirkless, just kind of cool. And when there's kind of flashes of light when it talks about one for all, there's 8 of them, letting us know there's like 8 people before him. All Might says he doesn't lie, he just kind of leaves things out. So that's kind of like him, oh, I hide a lot of things, but I don't lie. So right now he's only saying like, oh, it's a passed on quirk that is this, but he doesn't like go into detail being like, oh, it's actually like from the villain, or like I got these scars from the guy who made it, and like it's actually 2 quirks that combined, and like he just kind of leaves out a lot of stuff. Kind of like that they kind of they kind of advertised what the exam was going to be, so maybe that turned people off. So at least they knew going in that it was going to be a battle thing, so maybe it's kind of known they use robots every year, so that might turn off people from applying.
I mean, it must be known because Shinso knows already that he would fail the entrance exam, so he doesn't even try.
Yeah. And I guess I like that in sub it says immobilized, so that tells us how people like Mineta and Hagagura could pass. That they don't have to destroy it, they just need to be able to stop it.
The only thing I had was, it's not a spoiler, but I was thinking his shoes, I started to think maybe his dad bought him some big red shoes and that's why he wears them all the time.
Oh.
Like because his dad bought them as a gift like the last time that he saw him, so now he's connected him in that way. But that's a really far-reaching thought.
Maybe. I think it's kind of just like him being quirkless and then kind of just being like a symbol of him like standing out, because like no one else has red shoes, but then except for the evil Handman Shigaraki, he has this Shigaraki also has red shoes, which kind of like, and they have a lot of similarities too. They're both kind of like the pupil of their idols. Shigaraki's a lot more childish, so he's kind of like the same wavelength as Deku, really.
There's a lot of like theories going on where people want them to be related, isn't there?
I hope not. That would be bad, because then he'd be related to All Might's master, and it would be like even more fate. It'd be like, it's like, no, I like it better that Deku is just a random.
Yeah, I don't want him to be related to All Might either. When people are saying, oh, maybe they are related, I don't want them to. I mean, maybe it'd be nice if All Might had started some sort of relationship, even if it's not necessarily a romantic one, with Inko, because she is a lovely lady and deserves love. But I don't know, I'm not really into the whole, it's fate, it was meant to be like this, but I guess that's a big thing in Japan.
Yeah, so it's like,
maybe. Okay. Once again, I'm Sophie. You can find me on Twitter at Chopper's Antlers.
And you can follow me, Kendra, on Twitter at Sniper of My Heart.
Okay, so thank you again for listening to this episode. Remember to go beyond Plus Ultra!
Ultra!